Now joined by head coach for Kalamazoo Christian, Steve Ouding. Coach, first of all, thanks for joining me. Second of all, it's the last week of the season for you, and have to believe it went pretty fast. You probably, like a lot of coaches, thought it went fast, huh?
It did. We actually start each season in January with preseason conditioning and weightlifting, and it seems like it takes forever to get here, and then it seems to fly by much quicker than what you'd like, especially when, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go to the playoffs this year. So it's a 9-week season, and the kids have battled. We've had a great year, a great group of kids, but unfortunately it comes to an end here pretty quick.
It's the last week of the season, but yeah, you guys still have something to play for. We'll get to the rivalry in a minute, but you guys still have a chance that you could win 4 games. You won 2 last year.
Mm-hmm.
I have to believe that would be a mark of success for you and still finish in the top half of the league.
Well, that's what we've talked to the kids about. We were picked to finish bottom 2 this year. A couple of games that we'd like to have back, but unfortunately you can't. And again, if we're fortunate enough to win this Friday, end up 4-5, we're moving in the right direction. We're not going backwards, and obviously it's an improvement over last year. And proud of the kids and how hard they've worked. It is a tough conference when you've got Constantine, you've got Schoolcraft, you've got Penfield, you've got Olivet. Perennial powerhouses that are making the playoffs each and every year, and it's a benchmark. It is tough to play 9 conference games, especially against teams like that, and be able to win 6 games to get into the playoffs. We're happy with the effort the kids have given. Obviously, we'd like to have 6 wins this year to be able to get in the playoffs. You always want to compete. You always want to be one of the top tier teams, and that's what we'll continue to strive for.
Talk about, I guess, the state of your program right now, because you guys, obviously, I said you won 2 games last year. You've won 3 this year. Where would you put your program at right now?
Well, the biggest issue we have is numbers. We have great effort from the kids top to bottom. Unfortunately, we're only able to field 15 or 16 kids on JV and 19 or 20 on varsity at this point. And when you have that few numbers, of course, you don't get a whole lot of phone calls about playing time, but there's definite challenges to it. Being able to give each other a good look. We can give the JV a look, but it's really tough for freshmen to go up against seniors. And of course, obviously, first you've got safety issues with using the younger kids, so you have to get a little bit more creative with your practice. As far as the state of the program, we're solid, we're strong. Unfortunately, we don't have the number of kids that we'd like to have. We'd like to have, 45, 50 kids in the program. But, hopefully by having some success this year and hopefully having a fairly strong 8th grade next year, we can get our numbers back up to where we're able to field 20, 22 kids on each squad next year. Brennan has matured greatly this year. He makes good decisions with the football. He can give you a heart attack sometimes because he thinks he can make each throw. And, of course, you want that in your quarterback. You want that confidence. You want that edge. And Nate Niewonder this year has just really blossomed into an excellent receiver. Nate is got one of those characteristics of a good receiver. He wants you to call his number every play, and he wants to go get the football. And he's done a great job for us. It's also been nice that we've been able to run the football a little bit, which opens up some of the passing game. But, Brennan, again, has matured as a quarterback, matured as a leader. He's a junior. He was elected a captain, which is by his peers, which is a pretty big thing. And, we've been very, very happy with the way that they've matured as a quarterback receiver.
It's the last week. I think some coaches in this situation may have a little trouble getting their troops up maybe for the last week. I don't think you're going to have that much trouble since it's a big rivalry game the last week, right?
It is. We jokingly call it the Holy War, a little Protestant Catholic thing. But we have the utmost respect for the folks over there. Dob Drake and his staff are great kids. Their kids work really hard. Our kids work hard. And there's always that rivalry aspect. And the other thing is, too, we've got 10 seniors, and I have one of them that may go on to play at the next level, and 9 of them will never put pads on again. So we've talked to them about fighting through the entire week, having a good week, going out Friday night, playing 48 minutes for each other, and then just seeing where we come out when the dust settles. I think this year it really is a good rivalry for us because we're both sitting at 3-5. We both want to win that 4th game. And I don't know if it's lost any of its intensity over the years, but I think it's just become more of a mutual respect thing. and it's always fun to strap it up. We're two of the smaller schools in the conference, and we're the two private schools, and it's always fun to get out there and compete.
I can't get through an interview without talking about Hackett, and you don't talk about Giovanni Weston. I have to believe you saw the film last week, and first of all, 423 yards, 52 carries. You saw the film. What were you thinking as you're watching that performance?
Better find a way to stop him. Bottom line is he's a very gifted athlete, and we know that this week, I'm sure that with him being a senior, I'm sure Coach is going to give him his carries. And what we've told the boys is the number one way to keep him from gaining yards on us is to make sure he doesn't have the football. So we're going to go out, we're going to try and sustain some offensive drives, make some things happen that way. And then the other thing we're going to try and do is, you can't gear your entire defense to stop him, because as soon as you do, the Thayer kid pulls the ball and goes around the edge, or he makes a nice throw. So we know he's going to be their workhorse. We know that they're going to ride him. We know he's going to try and put him on their back. But we'll see if we can stop him, or at least slow him down.
Coach Steve Ouding of Kalamazoo Christian. Coach, thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Appreciate it.